guest of the day, Mr. Ketan Heda. Sir, may I have your permission to begin? Thank you, sir. Sir has over 10 years of hands-on experience in working with diverse sectors, and yet if there is an appropriate description for him, it would be eternal new kid on the block. This is largely because of the fact that he would never walk into an assignment with a baggage of tried and tested methods or solution, but combine his experience and insight with a fresh rookie-like approach. It is difficult to not notice his zealous demeanor laced with an astute acumen. He has graduated in hotel management and has pursued his post-graduation in international business. He got the first glimpse of the neuro world when he advanced certification in graphology. After that, he pursued his interest and completed his master level practitioner certification in neuro-linguistic programming. He is also a certified advanced life coach from the Association of Neuro-Linguistic Programming India. He has single-handedly developed various tools, most noteworthy of them being neuroanalysis, which has benefited a lot of our clients. Before being bitten by the entrepreneurship bug, Sir worked with various functions ranging from sales to operation, food and beverage and trainings. One of his key strengths is he would blend seamlessly with the client's value and culture and nip the gaps of the bud. Presently, he is an active director at Exodus Hospitality Solutions Private Limited and consultant at Acharan Consulting. I now request you, sir, to kindly address the batch.
And you are? Akash. Check. Last time such beautiful words were spoken to me was again in the same hall last year. And last time I felt so happy, so nice about myself, was also here. And before that, I guess 7 years back. Yeah, 7 years back. And then I got married. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, good evening, friends. So you're not ladies and gentlemen, basically. I'm here this year again, and I thank sir, ma'am, I thank all of you to bring me back here to have this opportunity. It's absolutely a privilege to be standing in front of 200 or more aspiring eyes and kind of sharing what you've done. Most of what I do, which is worth mentioning, has already been spoken by Ashutosh. All right, so there's very little that is left to me. Today what I'm going to do is, I'm going to talk of 21 principles of management. Exciting? Yes, who are you fooling, guys? It's not exciting at 5 o'clock. And I know this because I've been there. I've been in those chairs, I've been there, done that. It's not exciting. And I'm not going to take you through that torture once again. All I'm going to do today is interact. And by interact, I mean I'm going to talk because I'm on the stage. I'm going to talk and I'm going to let you talk. Is that good with us? Yes, yeah? Do we all agree? Yes, I think one mistake from my end, I did not inform ma'am and sir that I'm a little hard on hearing. So I understand it's 5:30, but do you agree with me? Yes, sir. Thank you for understanding what I'm trying to say. All right. To begin with, I would just like to give a narrative, an insight. It's my perception. I would first like to mention one thing, that whatever I speak here today, please do not take it just because I say. All right? Think of it rationally. If you like it, keep it with you. If you do not, please let me know. Please don't come and tell me, no, we wasted 1.5 hours. Good. I came to this beautiful Tinseltown, this beautiful city in the year 2000. Yeah. And the first thing that struck me about this city was the sheer emphasis people here lay on the importance of education. Can you all hear me? Okay. the sheer emphasis that people in Pune lay on education. Why I was struck by this is because I come from a Marwadi family. Right? Fortunately or unfortunately, I wouldn't know, but mostly it is an entrepreneurial community. We are mostly into businesses. And when my father took this decision of sending me to Pune for education, everybody from my family kind of, pagla gaya, 4 saal, degree, dukaan khol de. You know, this was, dukaan is, or business is the biggest goal of their lives, beyond education. You know, and we come from a very practical mindset saying, I mean, they had their own school of thought. Not that they're wrong. The emphasis was 4 साल में 2 लाख रुपए फीस देगा, उससे अच्छा धंधे में सीख जाएगा 4 साल में, और 2 लाख शायद कमा लेगा. You know, this was the crude emphasis. And I kind of agreed with it, because who wants to sit at 5:30 listening to a squeaky voice and this frail image talking to us about all that gyan? And I also did not want to do that. I resisted those 4 years of college. I went out. I got my first nokri, then I got my chokri. I kind of settled in Pune. And one fine day, जो family wala entrepreneurial bug hai, that bit me. I was always thinking, even when I was in college, any hostelites here? All are hostelites. Wow. Wow. Sir, congratulations. Tough times ahead, I'm sorry. Yeah. First 5 days of that month, I used to feel like a king. पैसे आते थे घर से. Remaining 25. I'm sure everybody will strike a chord with what I'm saying here. What happened was, I was always constantly worried that, you know, my cousins are earning tens of thousands every month, and what am I doing in this institute? Tens of thousands was a hell of a lot of money that time. I'm talking about 2000. So I kind of resisted what I did. Then I came into the real world. I started a job. I was into sales, and this entrepreneurship bug, it bit me. I told my wife that, you know, it's bit me. What should I do with it? And she said, all right, so if it's bit you, do what it asks you to do. And then finally, I put up my own venture. I entered the entrepreneurial space. And one of my colleagues in hotel management, he pursued an MBA later on, just like you guys. And he came back one day to meet me. I told him, you know, I kind of boasted, I've put up my own venture, and I do this and I do that. And he said, yeah, that's so good. That's about your product. He asked me, where do you see yourselves 10 years later? Did I just ask you that also? He asked me, where do you see yourself 10 years from today? I said, come on, yeah, this is a rhetoric. This is for interviewers. This is not for you. This is a question interviewers ask. You shouldn't be asking me this. Well, yeah, of course, let's assume, let's role play of this being an interview. Tell me, where do you see yourselves after 10 years? I haven't given it a serious thought. Let me think about it, and let's meet tomorrow. I'll tell you. She said, all right, I'll wait for it. That evening, ladies and gentlemen, I sat down with a pen and a paper to jot down my vision, my mission. And believe you me, I couldn't write down a single word. I couldn't pin down a single statement. I couldn't write anything at all. Somehow, I scribbled something just to look good the next day. And I met him again. I gave him that piece of paper. This is my mission. And this is what I'm going to accomplish. This is my vision. This is where I see myself 10 years, 5 years, 15 years down the line. So this is about me. He read it and he just grinned. Grinned? Sarcasm? He just grinned with sarcasm, saying, these are not visions or missions. This is a mere dream. This is a mere wish. So I said, yeah, but the same thing, isn't it? Vision, your vision and your dream, isn't it the same thing? That's the day he told me, this discussion is not over a chai and a samosa. I can't be telling you the difference between dream and visions in this half an hour. Go enroll yourselves for a management course. All right. Google search. And I found one correspondence degree. बीवी बच्चा भी manage हो जाए और पढ़ाई लिखाई भी हो जाए थोड़ी. I registered myself. I got a hell of a lot of a book slot that day. I think around 8 or 9 books for that semester. And I was like, pagla gaye? All right, theek hai. For a month and a half, I did not even bother to open that bag. Until one fine day, I took one book out because exams were coming close. And I read one line, which was the exact answer to this question that my friend posed. It answered the importance of vision. And then I never put that book down. In fact, so much so that I completed all 8 books in that week or so. And so much so that I completed the MBA, the postgraduate diploma in 2 years. I mean, it was an achievement for me. It was supposed to be 2 years, but I completed that in 2 years as an achievement for me. And I did that with, I think, distinction maybe. And that was the day my life changed. Because not just that I got answers to the question that my friend asked, I also got answers to a lot of other questions which I otherwise did not have an answer to. I did not know a way to. Right? Then I went back to my cousins, these multimillionaire cousins. They're still doing very fine. Believe you me, they're still affluent, they're still making a hell of a lot of money. And I sat down with them multiple times and I asked them a rhetoric question of Marwadis, Dhanda kaisa hai? And there are only 2 responses. You meet any Marwadi, you ask him this question, and is there any Marwadi out here? No offense, please, I'm sorry. Yeah. There are only 2 answers to this rhetoric question. Either the Marwadi will reply, "Arey dhanda jor mein yaar, client hai, गिराकी अच्छी चल रही है," or मंदी है, गिराकी नहीं है market में. There are only 2 answers. That was the day when I realized these guys are they are making money, mind you. They're making no bones about that. They're making a lot of money, but they're so circumspect. These circumstances, the situations are ruling them. They're kind of governing them. They are slaves to their circumstances. They're not controlling situations. And when that happens, when I realized that, and then when Acharan happened to us, we formed Acharan and we entered the consulting space, we kind of realized that this is a problem with most of us. Not just the people who didn't go to a formal college, formal institute, also a problem with people who did go to an institute. You know, anybody has heard of Lord Montessori? Lord Montessori? Ringing bells? History tha school mein. Thank you. Lord Montessori, the person responsible for the current education system, Britisher. We kind of followed him little more than what we were supposed to. India was primarily an entrepreneurial country. Over time, I see targets or I see goals of joining premier institutes as kya package milega. Is there anybody here who also thinks that way? Kya package milega? Slowly. His hand was like, so isme kya galat hai? Yeah, my friends, you're not wrong. There's nothing wrong with asking something in return. The point is, it's still not the ideal objective of joining a premier institute. It's not an ideal objective because all we are doing is, after investing so much into our education, we are exposing ourselves into the market as big, great job seekers. Do you think so? Do you agree with me? We are exposing ourselves as big job seekers, and a natural question that will come up to a job seeker is, kya milega? A natural question to anybody is, what is in it for me? WIIFM. Most important 5 letters. What is in it for me? Okay. My question, friends, is, what is it that you are going to give to the society? Or what is it that you're going to give to that organization that you're going seeking jobs? My question is, what are you going to take back out of this place? Are you going to take out dreams? You've walked in with dreams. You've walked in with dreams of being placed into multinationals. I'm sure there are some. Yeah? Obviously? Yeah. Obviously, you walked into dreams. Are they goals? Are they goals? Not yet. Not yet. My friends, what is going to happen in these 2 years here in those esteemed chairs is you're going to change those dreams into goals. Goals are more specific, right? I hope I wouldn't have to go through what is a goal and what is a SMART goal. No, I'm not going to do that because we don't want to make it a rhetoric. My point that I'm trying to make here is do not focus on what I'm going to get. Initially, in these 2 years, right now, focus on what I can give. Because, trust me friends, these 2 years aren't going to come back into your lives ever again. You're not going to get 2 years of time to sit down with like-minded individuals and discuss. Or if there is a question, ask. This is never going to happen. Been there, done that. All right? People don't give you time. People give you everything else. Maybe whoever has walked in with an objective of getting highest CTC and anything, maybe you will get that. But you're not going to get answers to your questions. So my dear friends, what you need to do here is ask questions. There is no silly question. All right? Am I clear on this? Yeah? And am I on the same page with you all? Yes? Okay, now since I have laid the importance of questions, now for the coming hour and a half, I'm sorry, I'm not going to take an hour and a half, but for the coming time, I invite questions. Let us keep this as an interaction. There is no point I keeping yappity yap, telling you what I am prepared with. I want to answer, if there is a query, if there is an inquisitiveness, I want to answer that, I want to address that. So is there a question? Is there something that you want me to share or want me to tell you? Yeah? I'm hard on hearing, I'm sorry. Very young to do that, but yeah, later. So. Yeah.
I got to know about it last year in my institute by Mr. Manoj Mittal.
Thank you.
So he was the person who introduced this this sentence or this thing.
This term.
Yeah, this term.
Yeah, crazy sounding term.
No, it is a very good term though.
Okay.
So I want you to like describe and define this thing again, the positivity, and shut down all the negative things. And about this program, like if you can share.
About NLP?
Yeah.
Okay. Although the objectives that were laid out were to not discuss about what I do, but what you want to be doing. However, since it's a question, very quickly at that. By the way, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Facebook, so I'm pretty visible. If there is a question like that which needs elaboration, we can talk later also. But to answer you in brief, NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. Neuro is your mind, is your brain. Linguistic is the language that the brain understands, and programming your mind to understand language of other minds that you interact with. Very simple. Right? I don't want, NLP is a very complex definition if you go by the books. A lot of things are very complex definitions. But practically speaking, it is just telling your mind the language that it understands. Like a computer does not understand what you type. It understands binary. 0, 1. Yeah? Similarly, our brain doesn't understand a lot of things that we do. It's just that we have programmed it to understand. If you've seen children, they don't really understand what we are talking to them or what we are doing the way we want them to. They understand in a different way. They also have brains, isn't it? I hope so. And what happens is, when you want your child to communicate to you, you keep on programming him for the first 3 years, 2 years. ये होता है बेटा, वो होता है. इसको touch नहीं करो, इसको ये कहते हैं, whatever. So that's a programming. Similarly, when we grow as adults, even then we don't understand a lot of our brain. So just to program it to the way we want it to is NLP. All right? And to talk about blocking the negative out and keeping the positive out, I don't know who has told you this. With due respect, He must be right in his perspective, but in the first place, there is no positive, there is no negative. Who can define what is positive? What is positive for you may be negative for me. Do you agree, guys? Yeah. So there is no. This is not an ideal definition of NLP to keep out negatives. To keep out what you don't want. Simple as that. That could be negative for you or positive for you. We don't care.
So do you have any books published on this negative language?
I haven't been able to publish a book as yet. Although I published a lot of articles on LinkedIn, which maybe you can have an access to.
Okay.
But books, there are a hell of a lot of books written by far more achieved personalities than me. Makes me feel bad, but yeah. Yes, so there is a lot of stuff available. I think you should go through that, and if need be, you can check my perspective on those articles also.
I'll connect you on LinkedIn.
Thank you so much. Anything else? Anybody else? These may not necessarily be questions. Anything you would want to know, maybe, or think I know. Anyone? Yeah, ma'am. You can sit, please.
A very good evening, sir. My name is Ayushi Kshatriya. I'm from Indore, Madhya Pradesh. Sir, I don't have as such any question, but I would really like to know the ideologies that you follow in your life. As in, what are a few things that you really religiously follow and have made you come till here? Till now, what are such things?
What if I tell you I don't do nothing of that? Okay. I'm sorry, I did not get your name.
It's Ayushi Kshatriya.
Ayushi, yes. A good question. And if I've understood what you're trying to ask, are you trying to ask me what motivates me? Or are you trying to ask me what inspires me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah? Okay. First things first, I don't quite like the word motivation. It takes you nowhere. To be honest, I'm not against those management gurus, but motivation in the sense we understand, it doesn't take us a very long way. We all get motivated for wrong reasons at times. Like in your case, maybe you would have seen some senior of yours placed in a particular organization at a particular level at X package, and he instantly becomes your motivation, your inspiration or whatever. And then you kind of try to follow him. You've kind of tried to observe him or her and see what is it that he religiously practices, what is it that he religiously does, what is it that I don't do and he does, so that I can change myself. And then you sit, your brain is so analytical, you make all that analysis and you try doing it. It doesn't work, ma'am. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. Because primarily, I wouldn't suggest it also, because even if you achieve what you've set out, you are still going to be as good as that person in the first place. Are you getting me? Am I making sense, guys?
Yes, sir.
My wife told me before I came here, I called her, I told her I'm going here. She said, please make sense there. So she was kind of telling me I don't make sense at home. So, yeah, sorry. To come to your question, yeah, motivations and inspirations they're more than anything, they're just euphoria. Right? That euphoria can be got through alcohol, through a lot of other things. Euphoria, time being, हाँ यार बढ़िया अच्छा बोल के गया, ये बंदा है, इसके जैसा बनना है. But you don't really do it because you cannot do what you haven't been doing. You know. So values, yes, you can inculcate values, but you can't just get inspired or motivated by somebody looking at his routine. You know, you have to really take one step ahead. Now, having said that, what I religiously do is work. If that interests you, I work, and I work. So, because I don't know any other alternate, you know, I wasn't as privileged as you guys are to sit in these chairs and, you know, talk and discuss. So I had to do it the hard way. You can sit, please, Ayushi.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I had to do it the hard way, and believe you me, everyone, I mean, although so as much as I would want you to not go through that, but it is destiny for all of us to go through that, you know, that sandpaper test. First 5 years, first 3 years in your jobs are, no matter where you are placed, are going to be, you know, slogging, are not going to be so easy, because we aren't used to that kind of thing. So only substitute to that is try to make up for that. No matter where you are, no matter what you do, try to make up with your work. In spite of being, Ashutosh said, I'm in this field since 10 years, diverse experience and all that. Yes, that is true to an extent, but still I have to slog for 16, 18 hours a day at times. It's my own company. I can choose to retire. I can choose to not go to work one day, but I can't do that. So the only ethic, the only practice is work, basically. And rest, there was this, I don't quite recollect the institute, but I had been to this management institute, and one guy asked me, what makes, it was a marketing specialization, and he asked me, according to you, what makes a good salesperson? And the only simple answer is, a good person makes a good salesperson. Now, a good person makes any good person, any good career. So, and we are all good people, aren't we? Because there is no good, there is no bad. There's no positive, there's no negative. So we're all good. Do not worry about. There's a lot of gibberish. There's a lot of rubbish being spoken about. 7 habits of highly influential people, 7 qualities of 21 qualities, and God knows what all. Don't fall into that trap. I'm not saying don't read it. It's good. You should read it, but don't take it for that face value. It really doesn't mean anything. I mean, a leader should get up at 6. One book said this. He should get up before everybody else, and he should be at workplace before anybody else, and he should leave the workplace after everybody else does. So what is he going to do? Who will work then? If he's going to be sitting in that office, what happens in between that? So what to do is easy to know, to understand, to see. How to do it is the real question, and that how to do it is not going to be answered by anybody else. So don't worry about that too much. Just focus on what you are. Focus on the work that you do. I'm sorry, am I supposed to be closer to that? Sorry. Tell me that. Don't wander around. Okay. Have I answered you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Pleasure. Anybody else? Yes, sir. Can we all at least clap for everybody who stands up and asks a question? That way you don't fall off to sleep. Yes.
Very good evening, sir.
Very good evening.
Myself, Umang. I'm from Bokaro City, Jharkhand.
Wow.
Sir, my question to you is, every person has a philosophy of life for his or her success. So what is your philosophy of philosophy for success in life?
Okay, good question. Umang, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Umang. Like I said, there is no philosophy as such. I'm not a philosopher, but a basic understanding, a crude understanding of what can make you successful. To put it very simply, I've been a firm believer that I'm an entrepreneur myself, and I'm a firm believer that entrepreneur, no matter what book says what, and entrepreneurship is nothing but ownership. Right? Do I make sense? Yes, it is ownership. It's simply put. I mean, yes, there is a complex definition that any. Sorry. Check. Thank you. Yeah. Sorry. Entrepreneurship, a complex definition I came across one day was when you do an enterprise, when you do a business with, I failed to remember. When you do a business with zeal, endeavor, initiative, and a lot of big words like that. When you do a business with that, then it becomes an enterprise. Then you become an entrepreneur. Sounds nice, that's why I put it on my website. However, entrepreneurship is simply ownership. Okay. Now, what I mean by that is, you own a car, all right? You sign documents, you purchase a car, the car is transferred on your name. You own it, technically, process-wise. But you don't clean the car, you don't wash the shields, you don't keep it clean from the interiors, do you really own the car? My question is, do you really act as an owner? Ownership, sorry, yeah, ownership, my friends, is an attitude more than technically owning. Yes, technically you're still an owner, but you're not acting with an attitude of ownership. Do it make sense? Yeah. My own philosophy, if I take your word, my own philosophy would be, no matter what you do, no matter tomorrow you do a job or you put up your own venture, if you're doing a job, if you act as an entrepreneur in your job, and if you're doing a business, if you act as an employee in your own business, you're sure to get success. This, I'm talking in the context of professional careers. I mean, in personal life, in relation, it could be different. But in terms of professional careers, you simply, if you're working for somebody, you work as an owner. And if you're owning a firm, go there as a worker. You cannot fail. Simply, if there is any philosophy, if this makes sense to you. Have I answered you? Any other question? Yes, ma'am. Guys, clap. Do you remember?
Good evening, sir. I am Monica Shrivastava. My question to you is, sir, you firstly you choose the work in company and then you convert to move on to business. What kind of difficulty you feel in your personal life?
Personal life, there's no difficulty as such, because by difficulty do you mean stress also?
Yeah.
There is no stress as such, because again, I firmly believe that if you do what you like, you can't have stress. You can't have a difficulty. Having said that, in the context of personal life, there is more than you. There are other people in your family. There are other people around you. So your ecology is more than you. And that ecology has to be taken care of. But if you do that, if you share your visions with everybody around you, I don't think you will ever have a difficulty as such. So personal life-wise, there is no difficulty. Yes, the amount of time that you are not able to give, particularly, is an issue. But that's still not such a big issue, because everybody in my ecology shares my vision. They are all on the same page. And what I do, I really love doing it. That's my passion. That's what I really, really, really love doing. And that's why I never feel stressed. Like I said, I still, even in this day and age, I still work for 16 and 18 hours, but I don't feel no repercussions. I have not been sick since last 3 years. So there's no health initiative that I take. Sorry to the earlier speaker, he spoke a lot of health, but my true belief is that there cannot be any difficulties, no matter in personal or in professional spheres. You can't have difficulty if you do things that you love or the way you want to. Good, you can't see me. Good, you don't have to see me. Have I answered you? Or is there some other dimension to your question? I have? Thank you. Yeah. Anybody else? Yes, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
So, my name is Biswajit Datta. I am from Siliguri, West Bengal.
Wow.
I don't have a direct question, but I just want to say some things. Like, I am pursuing MBA just because I want to get knowledge. That is because I want to get knowledge.
Yeah.
And I want to put it in a business which I want to do after a work experience of at least 5 years.
Correct.
In the business line of in the same business line.
Yeah.
But I have an innovative idea which is not yet implemented in the country or elsewhere. No, not, I won't say elsewhere. It's working in the global companies, but it's not yet come to Indian companies.
Okay.
No, only 2 to 3 companies are working on that project, but
Correct.
they are not so much flourished.
Okay.
But on my research or recon till now in West Bengal, if I put up that business, it will really flourish up.
Okay.
So is my decision wise of going for working, means like taking a work experience of at least 5 years and then setting up a business, or just to set up the business just as I finish my course of MBA?
Okay. I will give you a written gift. My written question to you is, why do you think it is not a wise decision? What makes you think, or what makes you doubt that this is a right decision?
So, as because I have asked this same questions to many other people, and they have replied that if you want to do a business, why not start just now? Why are you here to do MBA?
Correct.
Why are you here to pursue MBA? But in my case, as I like adventure, I go for trekking. Before we go for a trekking, we always recon for the route we are going to follow.
Correct.
We go on a recon for the route we are going to follow. We gather information. We take the we carry our food at least for 7 days. Minimum 7 days.
Correct.
We can carry the food for 7 days.
Right.
We carry the dry food, whatever, for 7 days. If it extends, we buy it from the others.
Correct.
That is the thing we are taking.
Yeah.
Not the experience. It's not an experience, but we are prepared for the fight we are going for.
Correct.
Right, sir?
Correct.
So in that case, if I am going for this, I should follow this. But then somewhere or the other, that risk factor makes me question people that, am I doing the right thing?
Okay. One thing. First things first. With no offense, Bishwajit, you like adventure and then you're worried about risk.
Sorry, sir?
You said you like adventure and you go for treks, and
Yes,
you worry about risks.
Uh,
Anyway, it's good. First things first, I'd like to congratulate you to have such a profound thought at this stage. Having said that, I discussed with ma'am there. I discussed with him as well, and I have repeatedly said there is no good or bad. There is no positive, negative. Similarly, there is no wrong or right. No decision is ever called a right or a wrong decision right now when you make the decision. All these definitions come in hindsight. Do you agree, guy? And hindsight is the most comfortable place to be in. बड़ा आसान है क्योंकि हो चुका है ना, अब देख के कमेंट करना है. That's the easiest job to do. There is, like I said, only your actions or your execution of the decision proves if the decision was right or wrong. So in the first place, there is no right, there is no wrong. The other experts whom you spoke to, they told you that why do you want to waste your time? All right, started right away. They're also right. At the same time, if you think that you need 5 years to gain experience, to fill that food in your bag, if you need some time, that's also right. Now, my question is, what food do you need to put in this bag? Do you? Let's not have that discussion here. Like I said, if we want to, we can extend it later. But my question right now that you need to ponder over is, what do you need to really fill in that bag? If you already have that, why do you need 5 years? Is my question. I am not judging. I'm not saying that do this. My point is, if you already have what is a prerequisite for your business in Siliguri in West Bengal, if you already have all those dimensions, don't waste time collecting more food. Correct? More food than you can take, because it's anyways going to rot. If you don't have that food, first earn money to buy that food, take that food, keep it in your bag and go. Simple. Isn't it? Have I answered you?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you anyway.
My name is Aditi Jadhav. I am from Dhar, Madhya Pradesh. Sir, I wanted to ask, being an entrepreneur, it's a responsible job, it's a risk-taking job. But sir, is it also a very lonely position? Like in an office, we have colleagues, we have boss to whom we have to report, we have subordinates who report to us, and if we make any mistake, and if they make any mistake, then it can be discussed, it can be sorted out.
Correct.
But being an entrepreneur, sir, the entrepreneur is the only authority like there.
Yes.
Sir, so is it a very lonely position like you are an entrepreneur?
Okay. In a way, I'm sorry, your name?
Aditi.
Aditi. Aditi, in a way, yes, it is a very lonely position. But I would also want to make some concepts or my perceptions clear to you that no matter what you do is always a lonely job.
Okay.
You know, even the way you were telling me right now that if we are working, there is a team, there are people around. Yes, but your job is cut out. Do you all agree? You are dependent on the other, you are interdependent on the other,
Yes.
but yet at the end of the day, you are an individual, no matter what you do.
Yes.
Now, by that I mean, entrepreneur's job is one of responsibility.
Yes.
That is because that comes from within. You cannot have discipline being told to you. You know, so you
Yes.
cannot have people telling you what to do. If you are already doing what you're supposed to do, you don't need a boss. You don't need a team.
Yes.
You don't need to worry about a team. What generally teams are good. Teams are the basis of any organization. You know, don't confuse or don't take me in the wrong sense. Teams are an absolute necessity of an organization. Now, having said that, teams at times disempower you.
Okay.
Or with teams, you at times run away from the responsibility. अरे सर उसने नहीं किया, अजी वो मतलब इनका नहीं हुआ तो मैं नहीं कर पाया. Again, you are being circumspect. Situations are controlling you. You know, people, other people around you are controlling you. It is not very practical to say this because at times there are certain jobs which are team specific. Because unless your teammate does something, you cannot do the other thing. Don't cut me. You know, don't take me in the wrong sense. But the point is, your question was that do you feel lonely when you are in an entrepreneurial role?
Yes.
Yes, in a sense, but you're occupied with so much that has been cut out to you that you really don't have time to feel lonely, to be honest. And that is true with no matter if you're in a job or you're an entrepreneur, because at the end of the day, you're an individual. So, and individuals make organizations, individuals make teams, and then teams make organizations.
Yes.
Have I answered you?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? No, just when they get up. That's fine. Sorry. Anyone else? No questions? Thank you.
Very good evening, sir. My name is Anjali Sheth. I'm from Goa. My question to you is, in the beginning you said your friend asked you, where would you see yourself in next 10 years? And that time you were not prepared to answer. But when you read the first line in the management book,
Yeah.
you thought that, this would have been the answer, correct answer.
This could give me the answer.
Okay.
Did I say this was the answer? If I said that, I'm sorry. No, that was, I mean, my vision cannot be written in the book. What I meant was, I'm sorry for that. What I meant was that book gave me an answer to find an answer.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Can
Okay.
you share that sentence with us? Meaning, might be that may help us to.
Okay. If I share that sentence with you, it will not make real good sense, to be honest. But I will share what I inherited from that book. You can sit down. And my one question: why from Goa here? Sorry. Okay. Okay. Vision. The friend asked me, where do you see yourself 10 years down the line? Please sit down. It is a very important question to answer for each one of us. He asked me 10. That doesn't necessarily mean 10 every time. There has to be a time period where you see yourself. There are some people who are not really good at foreseeing themselves 10 years down the line, and that's absolutely perfect. There's no problem with that. As long as you have some vision, as long as maybe it was a couple of years. I think most of you will have a vision of 2 years from now. Is not? 2 years from now, I see myself holding my degree. That's going to happen anyway. You know, visions are your end point. You know, and what that book told me was, whenever you make a plan, whenever you make a business plan, or any plan for that matter, you always begin with the end in mind. Am I making sense? You always begin. Generally, what we do is, आज मेरे पास ये है, चलो अब कुछ करेंगे. जो मैं कर रहा था, what I was doing was, I have built a sales network. I have hospitality experience. I have worked for 5 years, my friend. I also worked for 5 years and then entrepreneurship. So I have worked for 5 years. I know the market. अब मैं तैयार हूँ. अब मैं business करूँगा. I went to my boss. I told her, and I quit my job. A month later, I sat at home for a couple of weeks, and then सोचा कि क्या करेंगे. अब कुछ तो करना होगा. So ये आता है, ये किया है, clients को ये जाके बेचा है, ये समझ में आता है, बैठता है दिमाग में, यही करते हैं. तो मैं पहुंच गया clients के पास, and I started telling them, and by God's grace, it did well as well. But the point is, it did well because of God's grace. I didn't do nothing. You know, I had no vision. What I was doing was, आज मेरे पास क्या है, उससे मैं आगे बढ़ रहा था. An effective plan, an effective vision is the one where you see where you want to go. So, like using your trekking example, if you're at the base of the hill and you can see where you want to, you will obviously find a way. On the contrary, if you just start climbing the hill, maybe you will still reach the top, but you may take more time than necessary. You may not still be able to find the shortest route then. Okay? This book told me that. This book told me, begin with end in mind. So firstly, that was the day when I realized that seriously, I should know where I want to go. I should know what is my objective. There is a problem with this too, that what happens when you achieve your objectives? So what happens when I achieve my vision? There's a problem. So your visions have to be all progressive at the same time. But that's beyond the scope of this discussion. The point, to answer your question, I repeat, it told me begin with end in mind. And that's when my plan started fitting in place. That's when I realized that I don't even see myself doing what I'm doing right now 10 years down the line. Because then again your mission comes. Mission is your purpose in life. So each of us, at least I believe so, you may take it, you may leave it, but each of us is into life with a purpose. We all have a purpose to fulfill. It is very important we identify that purpose, because unless we identify the purpose, we are always going to be stressed. ये वो नहीं है जो मुझे करना है. ये काम में मजा नहीं आता, पर पैसा अच्छा मिलता है. Maybe you wouldn't have experienced this, but there are lot of my consulting clients who come to me saying, I'm making good money, but I don't enjoy it. That's because he doesn't know what is his purpose. All right? So that book gave me a purpose. That book gave me a insight on knowing my purpose. Purpose I had to find. Vision I had to find. But it gave me an insight on how to do it. Have I answered you? Thank you. Yeah. Anyone else? Why Goa? Still bothers me. What's your purpose? Sorry. Yeah. Anyone else? I'm sure there has to be something. Yes, sir? Oh, okay. I thought you scratched and left. Sorry. Anyone else? Yes, ma'am.
Sir, as if we want to start a new business, like I belong to Indore, belong to Dhar, but have studied in Indore, my graduation. That city has a restaurant, any canopy or any cafeteria at every 100 meters, we can say.
Yes.
So, sir, we 4 friends, we had an idea to start a new restaurant. So, is it wise to take loan from the bank or start it with our own funds?
See, there's no right answer for this also. Okay. It depends on, again, like I said, when I answered her question, it depends on what is your vision. See, basically, if you have a goal set, let's say you have a goal of, for example, through that chain of restaurants, you want to achieve a revenue target of 50 crores in 10 years.
It's too much for 10 years.
Yeah, exactly. It's too much because you don't have the kind of resources right now.
Yes, sir.
Do you think there is no restaurant chain in the world who achieves that target?
There are.
There are. So that's how do they do it? If they can do it, we can do it as well.
Yes, sir.
You know, but the first thing is these questions will come to you only if you have a vision set, only if you have your objectives, your goals set. Am I making sense? Yeah. If your goal is right, if you know your goal, there is no right or wrong, but if you know your goal, the alternatives will automatically fall in place. अब कर दिया भाई 50 करोड़ 10 साल में 5 साल में करना ही है, ये तो गोल हो गया. अब इसको कैसे करें? आज हमारे पास इतना पैसा नहीं है कि हम इतने बड़े रेस्टोरेंट्स खोल सके जिनका कि टर्नओवर 50 करोड़ 10 साल में होवे, तो हम क्या करें? अदर ऑप्शन इज फॉल बैक onto borrowing money, venture capitalists or angel funding or whatever, investors or whatever. Investors तो फिर equity stake बेचे या पैसा लेवे, interest पे ले, whatever. See, options, these are all alternatives, these are all choices, and choices make people empowered. You always feel empowered when you have a choice. Alright? If your father tells you, let's go to this restaurant, vis-a-vis your father tells you, which restaurant should we go in? When do you feel more powerful? Second scenario, right? Yes. You feel more empowered when your father has given you choice. Exactly that way, when you have choices, when you have alternatives built, an entrepreneur or anybody feels powerful, feels empowered at that time. So this is not a question right now. The bigger question is, what's your objective? What do you want to do with that restaurant chain? Now, if it is an objective कि मुझे लोगों को अच्छा खाना खिलाना है, that's okay. Then you don't need a fund. But मुझे 50 करोड़ का turnover करना, probably you need a fund. So, have I answered you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah?
Thank you.
Good evening, sir. My name is Ankita Sur. I'm from Kolkata, West Bengal.
Wow.
My question is to you, sir. One worst experience you have faced in your lifetime during entrepreneurship, and one experience from which you have learned.
Marriage? Sorry. Entrepreneurship. I missed that word. I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. One worst experience. Worst experiences, this definition can only be given in hindsight. Again, I never knew when I was going through it, I never knew this is going to be the worst one. But yes, the worst experience for me was, I'm sorry but one person from your Tinsel town, a Kolkata bred client of mine, duped me for 9.5 lakh rupee.
Oh my.
And my capital in my business was 3.5 lakh rupee. And he duped me for 9.5 lakh rupee, and I was neck deep in debts, borrowed interest debts, and I was flabbergasted. I went to Kolkata, then I found out that he stays at Durgapur. I went to Durgapur, Asansol, searching him. I did everything, and ultimately I returned with frustration only. I was frustrated and I was demotivated for good 6 months. Until the day when I realized that all I can do about this is learn from it and move on. And that's the day when I realized the importance of processes in my business. You know, I trusted him. He did what was in his interest. I did what was in my interest. Even I wanted money, of course. ऐसे तो नहीं किया. So there was, but the learning that I took from it is probably, make a system, make a process wherein if you're giving credit to somebody, it has to go through this and this process, and the credit period will be this. There will be a defined system. Why make somebody take a credit of 9.5 lakh from you when you have a capital of 3.5 lakh? It's a big mistake.
So then what should we do? We should trust or we...
I'm sorry?
We should trust someone or we shouldn't?
There is no alternative to trust. You have to trust people. I have most common mistake that we do from experiences such as this is, एक ने मुझे धोखा दे दिया, आज से मैं किसी को trust नहीं करूँगा. It is very easy. Your mind works that way. Tell me, if you sleep in your bathroom, do you never have a bath again? Sorry, hard-hitting example, but yeah, if you slip and fall, will you never enter that bathroom again? So there is no alternative to having a bath. There is no alternative to trusting people. You have to trust people. Otherwise, you can't do businesses. Having said that, trust has to be defined with acumen. All right? Trust has to be defined with acumen, and that acumen is what I call processes.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so trust, एक बार क्रेडिट दे दिया, ट्रस्ट गुड, आई कैन सस्टेन दैट काइंड ऑफ क्रेडिट. 3 लाख का मेरा कैपिटल है तो 1 लाख तक का क्रेडिट मैं सस्टेन कर भी लूंगा, वहां तक ठीक है. जब 1 लाख को क्रॉस कर रहा है तो गिव मी अ जेंटल रिमाइंडर सेइंग सर यू नो आई कांट डू फ्यूचर बिजनेस विथ यू बिकॉज आई नीड मनी. Simple. That's a process. That's a system. I defined that. Nobody ever duped me for even 100 rupees later. You know. So, but I still trust people. I still give credit. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Anyone else? Is 6:30 the threshold, or is there anyone else left? No? Can I conclude? Please. Get out. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It's honestly a privilege to be here. And more than anything else, when you ask these kind of insightful questions, I firstly have to find an answer myself, so I learn. And again, I look forward to interact with you on any platform you choose. If at all there is a query, if at all you think I could be of any help, please get in touch with me. Thank you so much.